What is up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. Guys, we have one of the most weirdest diecasts we've ever had in the studio. It's a 1997 David Green Caterpillar number 96 Chevrolet Monte Carlo from not Action, not Racing Champions, Matchbox. Yes, I'm not kidding you. Matchbox used to make NASCAR diecast back in the 90s. We're going to be taking a closer look at this random, obscure car, and let's check it out. Alright, fellas, so we got the rotating base out of the studio. Guys, this is one of the craziest looking diecasts I have ever seen. I mean, look at the wheels on this thing. This looks like one of those cartoon cars. Like, I kid you not, like the little, like, they have like little cartoons of like cars or something. That's what it looks like. So here's the package design. W package design. I love this. You have the little Caterpillar logo there. You have an open plastic dome. It's pretty thin, so it's been bent a little bit. But you have the 97 year, you have driver. I like that. That's really good presentation. I like the colors. Something we really don't get a lot nowadays. You got cat racing there. Love this presentation. It's not hard to just take a photo of the car and put it on the box artwork. It's not hard. I wish they would do it more nowadays. This is awesome. So this is the real car. Now, take a gander at the car and how realistic it looks, how smooth the front end is, and how small the wheels are. I'm going to turn it. I don't know about you, but that is not the same exact car. Oh, my goodness. So, you got cat right there. And yes, it is Matchbox. I'm not tweaking. And here's the bottom of it. So, the way this thing opens up, this is literally probably the most random diecast review we've ever done. It's just a little flap right there. You open up. And then you have the little plastic thing, and it just kind of folds out. And then, boom, you have your diecast. Now, I don't know if the plastic is, like, glued in there, but it's kind of snug, so I'm not going to try to damage it. But let me close this up, and we'll get to our diecast review. Wow. By far, one of the absolute most wonky diecasts I have ever seen. When I said this looks like one of those, like, cartoon cars, I wasn't tweaking. Now, you might be thinking, okay, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. Let me compare a car that was made, I think 2 or 3 years later. Now, one's a Pontiac, one's a Monte Carlo. But clearly something is not right with it. I'm telling you, man, the 90s were the Wild West of the NASCAR diecast universe, because some of the diecast molds were fantastic, and some of them were not so much. And some of these, diecast molds, regardless if they're realistic or not, people love them, right? But for me, I'm all about authenticity, realism. So diecast molds like this, they kind of drive me nuts. I'm not going to lie. But I figured, you know what? Let's do a review on it. There's probably a lot of people who didn't even know Matchbox made NASCAR diecasts. Oh my goodness. Almost 30 years ago. I am getting old. We got cat right there on the hood. You got the red bow tie, which was very signature back in the 90s. That red bow tie on like Earnhardt's car. I think he had the red bow tie. I think it was. It was either the rear bumper or the hood bow tie. I like how the outlining of the headlights have a little red tape. Kind of looks very cool. Monte Carlo there. The whole front end of the diecast looks like it's actually painted. Yeah, it looks like the yellow is painted and it's not decaled, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You got Union 76 STP Moroso. It looks like the STP logo has like blue paint or something smeared on it. Mac Tools. What is this? Oh man. So this decal is screwed up as well. You have the largest Goodyear decal I have ever seen. What is this, fellas? I mean, some of the people nowadays, they'll say like, well, today's diecast quality is not that good. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I will take today's diecast quality any day over the 90s qualities, because it was hit or miss. Like, Action would make an amazing diecast mold, right? And it'd be super realistic. But the year before, they would have a funky diecast mold that looked like a brick. It's crazy how, like, they'll go and make the diecast, and it looks nothing like the real car. It looks like a cartoon version of it. And they're like, yep, this is an authentic diecast. Blows my mind. But they got it cleaned up around the millennium. They really started cranking out high-quality diecast molds. The wheels are pretty cool. Like, you could probably swap this and put it on, like, a little Ford Bronco or something. It would look kind of cool. it even looks like the casting on it is not even smooth. You see, like, the rim? It doesn't even look like it was a smoothly done cast. Like, this one right here is smooth, but this one looks like it's been warped. I have no idea what's going on with this car, guys. You got David Green right there. You got whatever the biff that is. Caterpillar. Sunoco. Wait, whoa, Sunoco? That's interesting. I didn't know they were part of the sport. That's interesting, because it was Union 76 that was the fuel sponsor. But that's cool that they were still somewhat in the sport then. You got Goodies, Gatorade, Autometer, Simpson, RCA. That's a throwback. That's the company that made a lot of like televisions, VHS players and tapes. That's an old school brand. Champion. Go to the back here of the car. Looks like you have like a dealership or something logo on the back end of the car, and you can really see how the rear bumper is painted. There's a pretty inconsistent stripe right here. It's either paint masked or it's done by a brush. There is some cracking though. You can see right here there is some paint cracking, so that's unfortunate, but yeah. Number 96 right there. I mean, look how rough this right side decal is. Like, that's paint crack right there, so that's unfortunate. You can see some decal cracking right here as well. But you know what? It's a pretty funky die cast. I'm not tripping on it. Number 96 on the roof. I got Cat Rental. Or no, not Cat Rental. What is it? Financial right there on the deck lid. And one thing I'm noticing is even the die cast mold doesn't look smooth. You see this little, like, it looks like I don't know what you would call it. It's like an aggressive A-pillar, right? There was like some random bumps on it. But this one don't have it. So they didn't even shave down the imperfections on the casted mold. Like, there is so much wrong with this die cast. It's insane. And in the red windows, I mean, that throws me for a loop. Because, like, yeah, we've had red interior on stock cars in the past, but red windows? I don't know about that, guys. So, one of the absolute most funkiest looking cars I have ever seen in the studio. You know, if you want to make like a cartoon version of a stock car, this would be perfect as a donor. You know, if you want to make like a little cartoon version, because it looks like they call it tuned, I think, where like the car is all like squinched up and it looks like it's from like, I don't know, a Pixar movie or something. But yeah, that's probably what I would recommend it to be for. And there's the bottom plate of it. Chevrolet Monte Carlo says Matchbox 19. Is that a 5 or a 6? I can't even tell. It looks like a freaking S. I think it's a 5. Who knows? Got Matchbox there. But yeah, this was one of the absolute funkiest die casts we've ever had in the studio. Yeah, let's just say it's a die cast. All right. So what do y'all think? Make sure to comment down below. Did you collect any of these Matchbox cars? Because this is not the only one they made. They made a lot of die casts back in the 90s. The 90s were the Wild West of the die cast universe, man. They had so many different things going on back then. Oh my goodness. They had, I mean, Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Action, Racing Champions, I think Revell. There was some other ones as well that were making die casts. It was all over the place. And this was some of the products that you got back then. I'm just saying, I would absolutely prefer today's die cast market over the 90s. I'm just keeping it 100% with you. Because die casts of nowadays, you know, die casts like this, they're all in the same die cast style mold, right? So it's not like you have like your favorite driver, like let's say your favorite driver is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., right? And he's not driving for Hendrick Motorsports, so he doesn't get the big contracts that, you know, the best teams in the sport would get with the merchandising. You might get a driver like a Stenhouse or some of the smaller teams, maybe a Colleague Racing, that would have die cast on widely inaccurate die cast molds like this. That's why I prefer nowadays instead of the 90s, because back then your favorite driver could get a die cast only made on a mold like this. But you know what? Some people might like it, and I respect that. That's all for now. Diecastbuffet. Sign it off. This thing actually kind of reminds me of like a little Toyota Celica or something. That's kind of funny.